Back and forth series there for you guys, and it's been kind of an inconsistent up and down ride all season long for EchoFox. What are your thoughts coming off the series?
It was definitely a rut series. We had quite a few stumbles, like you said. I think one of our main problems is we kind of don't respect our opponents, and we do some crazy stuff, and then it usually gets us killed, and the game gets really long. So moving into our future games, we're just gonna clean that up, and it should be good.
And it does feel like you guys are in a good position to make a push here, but what does the week-to-week improvement look like? Because even though it has been inconsistent, you can definitely see that the play is sharpening up. You're not making as many aggressive or recklessly aggressive plays. Kind of what has that mentality been like for the team trying to improve together?
When it comes to improving like that, I think really it just comes down to everyone doing what is expected of them. Everyone knows what each other can do, and as you practice more and more, you don't even need to like say the things that you normally say in voice comm, and everything becomes second nature. We're slowly getting to that point, but of course we still have our stumbles.
And Synergy is building. You guys are just out of playoff contention right now. So looking with only 3 weeks left to play after finishing week 6, where is EchoFox going to finish after the regular season's over?
I guarantee you we'll make playoffs. I'll do everything in my power to make it. So, and also the standings are really close. I think just 1 or 2 games can change your whole season, right? At this point. So I think playoff is definitely a possibility for us right now.
Seems like you're in a pretty good spot. Congratulations, Gate, on the win today. We're going to throw it back to the caster desk, though, to wrap up the series.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. Always good to hear the thoughts of the players after they get done with a victory like that, see exactly where they're standing and where they think they're going to be once the dust is all settled. But looking back at that game, when you think about the player of the game, when you think about the man who influenced everything the most, one name comes to everybody's mind in that third match.
It's got to be. Oh.
It's got to be Froggen.
Yes, absolutely. Froggen dominated from the beginning of the game all the way through. It's like a 28-minute game, and he was definitely on point the entire time.
Yeah. From start to finish, he was constantly making plays, whether it was in the lane, even just having the 20-4 CS advantage that he had at the very start of the lane, to rotating and making the moves. He set up all kinds of things, and one of the first fights we want to take a look at from this game, the 26-minute fight, 3-for-0 EchoFox.
Yeah, it led to a Baron here. Gate actually engages onto Rainover, then Rainover is decimated by the burst damage from Froggen. So high level, level 15, farming incredibly well, and the ultimate comes down as well, and he's just pinned in there. And then the follow-up from this was Lorlo almost gets to Froggen, but Acadian goes for the peel, keeps his mid laner safe, and now he can't really get past all those minions, can't get past Acadian, and the hook, like you had said earlier, stopping him from going completely in. So they ended up peeling for him and playing around Froggen really well. So he got fed, but also the rest of EchoFox did step up to actually help out the fed guy.
And that's what it becomes. When you have somebody on the team who ascends to VIP status, everybody else has to hit bodyguard status and make sure that he's allowed to do what he needs to do to carry that game. And when that happens, sometimes you get a game that ends way earlier than you think it will, and that's what our next replay is going to be, the final fight of the match, where EchoFox was able to lock this down.
I will say if Piglet was higher level, he's level 13 right now, and he's the same level as Froggen, 16, this Shockwave would actually be decimating because he throws it in, hits Froggen, almost kills Froggen. Barely, and it also chunks Acadian to about half. Froggen still stays alive, deals a lot of damage in this fight, then Youngbin gets bopped there by the arrow, and then they're able to pick up 3 kills, 4 kills on the back of it, pop the GA, and finish it off with the ace.
Just could not really have been cleaner at all. The 5-for-0 into the end of the game, not even 30 minutes in, especially after the war that the final game was.
This right here. Froggen, 20,000 damage mid lane. Piglet, 5,400. He actually did do less than the Tom Kench support.
Feels bad, man. That's not where you want to see your mid lane damage output being. Obviously, that's a real disappointment, especially I'm sure it is to Piglet as well, looking at that, seeing his own performance and saying that he's got a lot to improve on. But that's the biggest thing to take away from this, right? Is as someone who's new to the mid lane, obviously there's going to be some nuances, some subtleties, some different things that you've got to adapt to, matchups that you have to adapt to. And for Piglet, the most important thing is to walk away from this one with that in mind.
Exactly. And I also think, like, for everybody else out there who like saw the game, it's like Piglet is new to the mid lane, so it will take some time for him to get completely acclimated to it. But that was a performance where you're like, oh man, if that was somebody who's like definitely, plays mid lane all the time, then it's one that you can really like go in on him for. But I think that it's kind of unwarranted. He did play very poorly in the matchup, but I feel like Liquid, they were at the bottom of the standings. They're trying something out. They ended up getting out of 10th place, tied for 10th place. They now have sole possession of 9th because Envy are still down there. And now it's, I feel like, Piglet, feel like go easy on him now.
He had a bad game. His final game was a bad one, and people have a tendency to remember the last thing in their minds, but he had other really good games. We were talking about his Cassiopeia performances earlier, so I'm looking forward to seeing where he goes from here in the future.
Yeah, if you can talk about anything, talk about how well Froggen played that entire series.
Yeah, that was a phenomenal showing from him. Our first series for the day in the books, but there's more coming up right now. Well, after the break at least. Immortals, they're going to be taking on Team Envy. Don't you go anywhere. Do it! Both Fox players so incredibly low. Rainover looking to come in. First blood, bullets to the back. Youngbin's able to find that kill. The laser over the wall, and Froggen snipes him down. Youngbin going to be killed next. Keith taken low and does fall. Lorlo's able to grab 2. The arrow comes through. Matt's going to be in trouble. Youngbin falls first. Matt's going to be going down second. Make it Piglet third. Make it Rainover fourth. Make it Lorlo fifth. That's your clean ace, ladies and gentlemen. Echo Fox looking to make this a quick game 3.